UFC President Dana White finds himself caught in an absolute firestorm tonight as outrage from top fighters reaches a fever pitch. A major title opportunity seemingly snatched away from a deserving contender, triggering a furious response and raising serious questions about the promotion's decisions. Welcome back to Combat Buzz Daily. Today, we've got a huge update involving Arman Tsarukyan, whose camp and fans are absolutely seething after UFC CEO Dana White's blunt admission that Tsarukyan was explicitly passed over for an interim title shot against Islam Makhachev. This wasn't a cancellation due to injury, but a direct organizational decision to deny a seemingly earned opportunity, sparking immediate and intense outrage across the MMA community. White stated the decision was made after Tsarukyan withdrew from a planned fight with Makhachev due to personal reasons, but many believe his prior victory over Charles Oliveira and his readiness for the immediate challenge should have been paramount. The lightweight division is in a state of flux, and this move has fueled accusations of unfair treatment and strategic maneuvering over merit, leaving a top contender feeling sidelined and disrespected. We also have crucial reactions from interim heavyweight champion Tom Aspinall, who hasn't held back his disappointment with the UFC and Dana White. Following his eye injury at UFC 321, Aspinall openly criticized the organization for their perceived lack of communication or medical guidance, questioning the support provided to fighters post-bout. White, in turn, addressed Aspinall's comments at a subsequent press conference, creating a very public and uncomfortable exchange that highlights a growing rift between the interim champ and the promotion's leadership. Adding to this pressure cooker, breaking info suggests an unprecedented level of internal scrutiny and potential discontent within the UFC's own ranks. Whispers from behind the scenes indicate that the sheer volume of high-profile fighters vocalizing their grievances, from title shot snubs to post-fight support issues, is creating a real challenge for the organization's PR and internal stability. There's a palpable sense that White is truly under siege, navigating a landscape where fighter autonomy and voice are more prominent than ever before, potentially forcing a reevaluation of long-standing policies. And for a bonus story that just won't die, we have updates on the continued bad blood between Dana White and former UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou. Ngannou recently responded to White's fresh accusations of a physical altercation before his departure, calling the claims quite disappointing and expressing his fatigue with the ongoing narrative. This persistent back and forth serves as a stark reminder of the deeply strained relationship and further amplifies the current narrative of powerful fighters at odds with the UFC's top brass. Let's jump straight into it.
Welcome back to Combat Buzz Daily. Our top story today involves Arman Tsarukyan, who has just seen his path to an interim title shot controversially redirected, sparking widespread outrage among fans and his camp. According to Dana White's own blunt admission at a recent press conference and subsequent statements from Tsarukyan's management, they said, "We are quite frankly gutted and confused. Arman was ready to step up. He earned that shot. And to be dismissed so casually after a personal withdrawal, it feels like a slap in the face to his dedication and the fans who want to see the best fight the best." This has caused major reactions across the MMA community. Fans commented extensively on social media, accusing the UFC of inconsistent decision-making and questioning the fairness of the promotion's power structure when it comes to granting title opportunities, particularly given Tsarukyan's recent dominant performances and willingness to fight anyone. While analysts believe this situation sets a concerning precedent, demonstrating Dana White's willingness to make unilateral decisions that can bypass fighter momentum and fan expectations, effectively wielding an iron fist over the title landscape. This situation could affect the entire lightweight division's title picture, potentially demotivating top contenders who now see their hard-earned positions as less secure, especially if the UFC continues to make seemingly arbitrary decisions without clear justification. It creates a feeling of instability at the top. Transition. This brings us to another heated situation involving Dana White himself, as the wave of discontent isn't just about title shots, it's about a perceived pattern of disregard for fighters, leading to cancellations and deep-seated frustration across the roster. While the headline "Dana White cancels major UFC fight" might suggest one singular massive bout has been scrapped, the reality playing out in the UFC feels like a cancellation of trust and consistency on a much grander scale. It's not one fight, but a series of unsettling decisions and events that collectively represent a major disruption to the ecosystem. Look at interim heavyweight champion Tom Aspinall, who recently voiced his disappointment with the UFC for perceived lack of communication and medical guidance following a severe eye injury. He expressed feeling undervalued, saying, "You're a UFC champion, you expect some communication, some guidance, and it just wasn't there." This isn't a fight cancellation, but it's a cancellation of peace of mind for a top champion. Then we have the ongoing saga with former heavyweight king Francis Ngannou. Dana White's recent accusations of a physical altercation before Ngannou's departure have been met with a weary denial from Ngannou, who stated he's tired of the situation. This strained relationship, fueled by White's public narratives, speaks to a broader breakdown of trust. It's a cancellation of any hope for reconciliation and a continuous narrative of discord. And let's not forget the unfortunate last-minute cancellation of Louis Sutherland's fight at UFC Perth after his opponent Justin Tafa faced serious weight management issues. Sutherland, left gutted, highlights how even scheduled bouts can vanish due to underlying issues within the system, leaving fighters feeling abandoned and their efforts wasted. These incidents, from title shot snubs to medical neglect concerns, and even public smear campaigns, paint a picture of Dana White's iron fist approach. It's an environment where fighter agency feels diminished, where decisions, sometimes seemingly arbitrary, lead to real-world consequences for athletes. This isn't just about a canceled fight, but about a palpable sense of outrage simmering within the ranks, signaling a major fight for respect and consistency that the UFC and Dana White are increasingly losing. The collective impact.
Dana White responded to the persistent questions surrounding Francis Ngannou's controversial departure from the UFC, saying, "Let's be clear, Ngannou's exit wasn't just about money. It was about a lot more than that. There was an incident, a serious one. He got into a physical altercation with myself and Hunter Campbell at the UFC office. That's the truth of it." Dana seemed visibly heated and frustrated, especially after speculation consistently portrayed Ngannou's exit as purely a financial dispute, suggesting an amicable separation. He clarified that the reality was far more confrontational, directly addressing the underlying tension and alleged misconduct, insisting that, "You don't walk away from the biggest deal in heavyweight history unless there's more to it. There were lines crossed, professionalism completely abandoned, and frankly, a physical altercation we had to deal with." This sparked more reactions online, with fans saying the revelation felt like a long-held secret finally exposed, further polarizing opinions on Ngannou. Many expressed shock and disappointment, questioning Ngannou's character, while others accused White of trying to tarnish Ngannou's reputation years after his departure, calling it a desperate attempt to justify the UFC's stance. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, matchmaking seems to be slowing down.
Reports now say the UFC is trying to finalize the next pivotal lightweight championship bout, but issues involving Islam Makhachev, the reigning champion, and the ongoing controversy surrounding Arman Tsarukyan's missed opportunity are causing delays. An insider said, "The mood behind the scenes is incredibly tense. Dana's blunt admission about Tsarukyan wasn't just a slip, it was a clear statement about the UFC's priorities. It left a lot of people, including some within matchmaking, scratching their heads and questioning the fairness of how things are truly decided, especially given Arman's recent performance." The UFC wants a highly anticipated clash between Islam Makhachev and a top-tier challenger like Justin Gaethje or Charles Oliveira, but scheduling problems with Makhachev himself, whose Ramadan schedule and fight timing demands often require careful planning, may push things back. This could result in the door potentially reopening for Arman Tsarukyan to face another top-5 contender, or even a shot at an interim belt should Makhachev's next defense be significantly delayed, igniting fan hopes for his rightful place in the title picture. Transition. As matchmaking stalls, fighters are speaking out.
Tom Aspinall responded to this situation on a recent interview, saying, "Honestly, it's quite disappointing. You go out there, you fight your heart out, you pick up a pretty nasty eye injury in an interim title fight at UFC 321, and then silence. Not a single call, no check-in from the UFC, no "how are you recovering?" It just leaves you scratching your head, wondering where the support for the athletes really is. We put our bodies on the line, and a little communication, a little care goes a long way. It certainly makes you think about your value to the organization." This was clearly aimed at the UFC and its leadership, particularly after Dana White's previous comments downplaying the severity of fighter injuries or the need for constant communication. White had publicly stated, "We don't call guys every day after they get hurt." Fans reacted with widespread sympathy for the interim heavyweight champion, condemning the perceived lack of care from the promotion. Social media lit up with support for Aspinall, with many fans sharing their own frustrations about the perceived disconnect between the UFC and its fighters. Many believe this incident could set a worrying precedent for how injured champions are treated, adding fuel to the ongoing discussions about athlete welfare and the promotion's responsibility. It certainly deepened the conversation about whether fighters are truly seen as partners or merely assets within the organization. Meanwhile, Arman Tsarukyan's camp added to the growing chorus of discontent, with Tsarukyan himself saying in a recent statement,
We earned that shot. We beat Beneil Dariush. We were ready for Makhachev. To be told we're being passed over for an interim title shot because of personal reasons after I had a minor withdrawal, it's outrageous. Every fighter knows the sacrifices we make. This isn't how you treat a top contender. It feels like they're playing games with our careers, ignoring the established rankings and what we've achieved in the octagon. It's a complete disrespect to the hard work and dedication, and to the fans who want to see the best fights. It sends a message that loyalty and performance might not be enough. This only fueled more drama going into the upcoming title picture announcements and exacerbated the broader sentiment among fighters that decisions are often made without transparency or genuine consideration for their careers. It's a simmering pot of frustration that threatens to boil over, challenging the perceived do-as-we-say mentality and demanding more accountability and respect for the athletes who risk it all inside the cage. And now, let's move into our final story.
New reports reveal that heavyweight prospect Louis Sutherland's highly anticipated bout at UFC Perth has been abruptly canceled. Sources close to the promotion confirmed that his opponent, Justin Tafa, was hospitalized just hours before the weigh-ins due to severe complications from his weight cut, making him medically unable to compete. The news sent shockwaves through the MMA community, with fans instantly reacting with a mix of frustration for Sutherland and concern for Tafa's well-being, sparking renewed debate over the pressures of extreme weight cutting. While this may not grab headlines like a main event collapse, it definitely affects the trajectory of a promising heavyweight, the depth of the division, and more significantly, the emotional and financial toll on fighters who dedicate months to preparation. For fighters like Sutherland, these last-minute cancellations are nothing short of devastating. Imagine dedicating an entire training camp, grueling 2-a-day sessions, strict diets, time away from family, and the immense physical and mental strain, all for it to vanish in an instant. Sutherland himself took to social media, simply stating he was gutted by the news. That single word encapsulates the raw disappointment, the adrenaline dump, and the immediate financial hit that comes with such an unforeseen turn of events. Fighters primarily get paid their show money when they step onto the scale, but the real payday, the win bonus, is lost entirely. For someone looking to build momentum and climb the rankings in the stacked heavyweight division, a canceled fight means not only lost income, but also lost exposure, a halt in career progression, and the demoralizing task of resetting mentally and physically for the next opportunity, whenever that may be. It's not just about the money, it's about the lost chance to perform, to prove your worth, and to move closer to a title shot or bigger fights. The situation also reignites crucial conversations about fighter safety and the extreme measures taken during weight cutting. While Justin Tafa's hospitalization is certainly a serious concern, it also highlights the precarious balance fighters walk, pushing their bodies to the absolute limit. For Sutherland, whose preparations were impeccable, it's a bitter pill to swallow, being caught in the crossfire of an opponent's struggles. He did everything right, made his sacrifices, and still the opportunity slipped away. Dana White and the UFC frequently emphasize professionalism, but situations like this remind us of the often unseen vulnerabilities within the sport. Sutherland now faces an uncertain waiting game. Will he get a new opponent quickly? Will the UFC compensate him adequately for his full camp? These are the questions looming for a fighter who is just days, even hours away from living out his dream. His gutted sentiment echoes across the entire fighter roster, a stark reminder of the fragile nature of an MMA career.
What do you think about today's updates? From Tom Aspinall's vocal disappointment regarding UFC communication to the continued heated exchanges between Francis Ngannou and Dana White, and the undeniable outrage from Arman Tsarukyan's camp over his interim title shot snub, it's clear the UFC is navigating some seriously choppy waters with its roster right now. Should Arman Tsarukyan receive the immediate interim lightweight title shot he and his passionate fanbase believe he's earned, especially after the highly contentious decision to pass him over? We want to hear your take in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe for daily MMA updates here at Combat Buzz Daily. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.